Are you tired of the sun already?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hello everyone, we are out here today trying to harvest cholla buds for the first time. I like your hat. So it's cholla harvesting. No, it's not cholla harvesting, it's cholla bud harvesting. It's springtime, sort of, and it's cholla bud harvesting season. We have a couple of cacti on property that have buds that are edible, and we have watched some videos online and read some stuff online about how to harvest these buds, and we are going to try it for the first time, starting with the cholla behind us. We've got our baskets and some tongs and some brushes and gloves. So hopefully we will come out the winners and on top and unscathed. So come along with us to see how it turns out. So what are we looking for anyways?
You are looking for buds that are well formed, that have not opened yet.
So like these
like
ones?
this guy here, even this guy here. But like this one up here that is starting to open, you want to leave that alone. And then this guy here, his flower is gone. So leave those be, they will form fruit.
Okay. So we're looking for buds that have some color but have not opened yet.
Yep.
Okay. I guess let's give it a shot. So you just take it off, drop it in. It's worth noting that we're trying to adhere to no more than 50%, but since we're pretty late in the season with this cactus, it's kind of, it's less concerning how many we take, but generally try not to take more than half of a cactus's or any plant's fruits, so that way it's sustainable. Exceptions to that would be with really invasive plants, which you'll see in our Sahara mustard video that we're working on. Trying to do this while filming. It's not easy. We're focusing down here, camera. Down here. Ugh, nope. These guys just do not want to let go sometimes. Spinning it around to try and get some of the spines off. If you look at one of the videos we linked to in the description, you'll see that he talks about how you could just run these along the inside of the basket and a lot of the spines tend to fall off. So I don't think you can see any of the spines coming out, but it is kind of working. But we've still got a couple more cactuses to hit. You flung one out.
Oops, I did.
Over there. By your bucket.
Oh, oops, not bad.
Right there. That's the first cactus. On to the next cactus. There she be off in the distance. In our vastly untouched, boring front yard. This cactus has seen some better days, as you can see, but he's still going. This guy's at a slightly different place in their blooming. This buckthorn is a yellow bloom and started to bloom later than the one that we were just at. So there's a little bit more to pick off of this one, but we also need to be a little bit more judicious because it's not done with its flowering yet. Take a look. There we go. So that's all we're going to do with this one. On to the next one. to our hidden Christmas cholla. It lives inside of a creosote cluster. Just look how big this one is.
5'8" for reference. Hazards are real.
It's all in shadow, but there we go. You can see all of the new growth on some of these ones that are out here too. All that just from brushing it. The brush really helps in my opinion. Quite a bit. Not quite done, but it's quite a few.
Yeah, you're starting to get to the point now where you can obviously get in a little more detailed and pick up one of the smaller brushes and try to kind of bust the last remaining few spines off. Glockid free.
Getting a two-part going. Britt's gonna clean off the detail work and put them in there, and I'm gonna work on getting the big stuff off. Also, can you see all the bugs that are also now in the front yard? They're just everywhere. Now, got the tiniest sticker in my finger. An interesting byproduct seems to be that sometimes the buds themselves get impaled by their counterparts as the spines are coming off. Look at that. Gotta double check for that. Did you get stickers in your glove?
Yeah.
The things that'll get you the most, sadly, they're not even the big stuff. It's the tiny hairy bits that live in these little white spots here.
Glockids.
The glockids that typically tend to hurt the most, and they're tiny, hair-like, and you can barely see them. Oh no, what did we bring inside? Things to eat. Oh, there's the third one. It's like the perfect triad. All three of these cats can't stand each other either, so it's like how long before one of them gets annoyed? That long. And that long. Are these yours? You deem them yours? And you're still trying to get in on it. No, these are mine. Mine. And Elsie wants her window open. Hi. I got tired of pulling out the little hairs because I made the cardinal sin of not wearing gloves despite bringing gloves with me. I'm here. We came inside and fought the cats off, and now we're gonna try and clean the rest of these.
And there you go.
Three left.
Yep. Alright, since Devo is working on dog food right now, I will be showing you the next step. The next step is to blanch the cholla buds. And so what you will need is a pot of water that has been seasoned quite heavily. So about a quarter of a cup of salt. And once this gets up to a boil, you will throw the buds in for a minute or two. And then immediately put them into an ice bath. Alrighty, so the pot of seasoned water is now looking pretty good. So let's add those cholla buds. Don't mind me trying to do this one-handed. So the buds are in the pot and they will stay there for about a minute to 2 minutes. Their color should improve in vibrancy just a tiny bit, but after the 1 to 2 minutes they will go into an ice bath.
You grew more hands, it's a miracle.
Yay!
Look at our yellow light.
So yellow.
We are #1 YouTubers.
And I have a better chance of shaking the ice around with it.
Then what?
Once they finish cooling down, they will go into the dehydrator so we can use them later.
Can we eat them after they've cooled off? Kind of works. It's Elsie. Alright, so now they're blanched, and I came back, and you can apparently eat these raw, but if you have issues with oxalic acid, you should be careful about that because apparently there's a high amount of it in these buds and in the cactus in general, so just be aware that if you have any type of issues with oxalic acid, you may want to consider not eating them this way, or at least not eating them raw. Blanching seems to get rid of some of that issue. We are going to dehydrate the bulk of these just because they last a long time and we want to make sure that this actually goes to use since we're not going to be able to eat them all in one day. But I've not had one of these plain before, so I want to try one. And I know that you've had more than me, but you've never had any from this property, so here we are trying. I'm going to try one. So this is kind of what they look like. And like, here's a bigger guy.
I'm going for salt.
I'm gonna eat it plain. It kind of reminds me of like a green bean, a really freakish green bean kind. It kind of has that taste that's been in a can for a while, but it's better than that texturally.
Reminds me of okra.
Until it's not, because it gets slimy like okra.
It solidly reminds me of okra.
I haven't eaten enough okra to know, but it's got some similar texture to okra for sure. I can't comment on the flavor. The texture is still hard for me to get behind. The more I chew, the more I'm just like, stop. Oh, texturally, it's hard for me. The small ones are not too bad, but the bigger pods, they got a lot of slime up in there. Laughing at me.
I can tell you've not had okra.
No, I've not had okra. Not really. I've had it deep fried. Now that I've had my taste test, we'll probably keep a couple of these to eat fresh, and then the rest we're probably going to dehydrate. So, next stop, dehydration time. And they're finally done. Little rocks. So we'll save these up and we'll use these in the future for something else. Didn't take very long. I think it only took a couple hours for these to dehydrate at a very low temperature, and I read online that you could dehydrate these in the oven, so it's not necessary to have an official dehydrator. But yeah, that's what the final product looks like. And just a small little tip, if you ever do want to do this, we found that this style of glove, that's what it looks like, was the best for not getting your hands hurt and not getting a bunch of stickers in your gloves. So highly recommend. So that's that. I don't know what else to say, so I guess that's it. I'll just choose something else.